this was an image that kind of blew me away when I came across it. For anyone familiar with Tolkien's works, the Eye of Sauron is a very powerful image. And when I was first looking through Jung's Red Book, I was very surprised to see an extremely similar eye looking back at me. And that, in a way, would have been enough of a coincidence. But let me first, just so we can really feel it, go tell you about the Eye of Sauron. This is a vision that Frodo has of the eye in the mirror of Galadriel. But suddenly the mirror went altogether dark as if a hole had opened in the world of sight, and Frodo looked into emptiness. In the black abyss there appeared a single eye that slowly grew until it filled nearly all the mirror. So terrible was it that Frodo stood rooted, unable to cry out or to withdraw his gaze. The eye was rimmed with fire, but was itself glazed, yellow as a cat's, watchful and intent, and the black slit of its pupil opened on a pit, a window into nothing. And then another description of it. Darkness lay there under the sun. Fire glowed amid the smoke. Mount Doom was burning and a great reek rising. Then at last his gaze was held. This is Frodo's gaze. Wall upon wall, battlement upon battlement, black, immeasurably strong, mountain of iron, gate of steel, tower of adamant, he saw it. Barad-dûr, fortress of Sauron. All hope left him. And suddenly he felt the eye. There was an eye in the dark tower that did not sleep. He knew that it had become aware of his gaze. A fierce, eager will was there. It leapt towards him, almost like a finger he felt it searching him. Very soon it would nail him down, know exactly where he was. So that's Frodo's experience of the eye of evil. But as I was continuing to read through Jung's Red Book, I came across this. Nothing is more valuable to the evil one than his eye, since only through his eye can emptiness seize gleaming fullness. Because the emptiness lacks fullness, it craves fullness and its shining power, and it drinks it in by means of its eye, which is able to grasp the beauty and unsullied radiance of fullness. The emptiness is poor, and if it lacked its eye, it would be hopeless. It sees the most beautiful and wants to devour it in order to spoil it. Something about the symbol of the eye, which the first time I read Lord of the Rings, I was like, I don't really know what this eye is. Like, it just kind of appeared, and I wasn't sure what it was referring to, and it only really becomes clearer as you go through the 1,000+ pages. And it's much clearer if you watch the film what the eye is, but it is an eye that never looks inward. It is an eye that is always looking out. It's always grasping, seeking, moving outward. And I think that that's very much like what Jung has in the Red Book as well, that it drinks in by means of the eye. So it's always going outward and not just turning in on itself. And I think it's kind of interesting that the whole premise of Lord of the Rings is taking a part of the evil power back to itself. And when it is brought back to the heart of where it was made and unmade, it is completely destroyed. So it's almost like by taking, and in many ways a ring is like a representation of an eye, and by bringing the eye back in and turning it in on itself, evil is unmade. So I guess I would say to that the relationship between the I and evil is that it can't look at itself, and if it does, then it is no more.